What's up, everybody? I am Jesse, or GameOverJesse, as all of you may know me, here with me for this awesome discussion on the top 15 craziest Zelda fan theories is Axel the Beast, who you all may know from
the curiosity, the Zelda Dungeon mailbag, and now on my own channel mailbag.
The Axel the Beast mailbag.
Yeah, the Axel the Beast,
the Beast bag.
The Beast.
Call it that, please.
It's a Teen Titans experimental.
Call the
mailbag.
zoo.
And we also have the one, the only, the handsome Daniel.
Oh no, I'm the other Daniel, the not handsome one. Sorry.
No, who is it?
Sorry to confuse you guys.
Who is it that people say you look like? Who's it?
Or Jared?
No,
really?
Not a YouTube person. It was like an
sometimes
actor
people say that I look like Andy Samberg, but I think it's my gap teeth.
All right, we are here with Axel the Beast and Andy Sandberg.
I wish I was
We are
Andy
here with
Samberg.
Andy Sandbergerson.
Hey, there, now you're talking.
It's all coming together. The theory connections are just lining up.
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
Are going
Andy Samberg and Smash confirmed.
We are going to be discussing the top 15 craziest Zelda fan theories from a website called The Gamer. Now, our lists that are the most popular are the ones discussing the theories, particularly the one discussing our least favorite or the worst Zelda theories, because you guys love seeing us hate on stuff. So this time I thought, instead of hating on our own theories that we can come up with or think of, we're going to find a list from someone else and hate all on it. No, the plan was originally get a list, go through, read out the good ones, read out the bad ones, give our thoughts. Maybe Daniel and Axel would think a theory would be good, but I would think it sucks, so then we'd have a little bit of debate on why or why not it is a good theory. Alternatively, Axel could think one sucked, and then me and Daniel would be the idiots trying to say that it's a good theory.
They all suck.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I've noticed, all of these Zelda theories are just people going through and copying and pasting from other websites and not coming up with any ideas. Like, I made the joke before.
That's like the exact thing you were looking for, though.
No, but originally, I thought we would be finding a good list with some, like, at least half of them would be good theories and then half would be bad theories. Right. But these are just, like, maybe one is good. Some of them aren't even theories. Like, we made the joke before this that the person who made the list, it seems like they just were like, oh, like their website was like, hey, Zelda's popular, Breath of the Wild's coming out. They like Zelda theories. Let's make a list to get those people to come to our channel. And then they were like, oh, we can make a Zelda theory list. And then someone was like, I can do it. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I played half of Ocarina of Time. So
to be fair, I think a lot of Zelda fans haven't played every game.
Yeah, but this is like, they just played through half of one. It's not even, like, I don't even know.
They watched the trailer for Twilight Princess.
Well, it's like you said, though. They came up with the list from other people. They can't be blamed for the quality of all these theories.
Yeah. How about just write your own article?
Yeah, it's called video game journalism.
But Jesse and Daniel.
Who said that?
What are we doing then?
We're making fun of... We're not video game journalists. This is a podcast.
So
we're not regulated.
Daniel, this is a list of top 15 from thegamer.com. So you know they are real gamers. It's in their
real
title.
Because it says it's not just any gamers, it's the gamer. Mm-hmm. The only one.
And the interesting thing here...
you mean the guy who donated to the Patreon?
No, that's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, get it right, Axel.
Okay. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
No, so Daniel, you will do number 15, but number 15 is kind of boring because it's more of a non-theory. So I'm going to start with 14.
Face
and
is
then,
a non-theory.
Yeah, and then Daniel, we're going to start with 14 because it's maybe interesting. Not quite sure yet. And then we'll go to 15 for the people who are like counting through the theory list with us. So our number 15, which is number 14 on the thing, is Dark Link Origins. I can already tell this is going to be completely wrong because the quick thing here, before we even get started, almost every single version of Dark Link, Shadow Link, or whoever he may be, whatever new title they give him, almost all of them are completely different entities than the others. Like, some of them are created on the spot by Ganon. Some of them are like brought from a different realm or whatever. A lot of people assume that it's the exact same Dark Link every single time.
But it makes no sense. The rules are always totally different. In Adventure of Link, he's actually not even a bad guy. He's a trial by the good guys.
Yeah. So
same with that's true. Actually, wait. Yeah.
Dark Link Origins. They say this isn't a direct fan theory, but we felt it was too interesting to leave off this list. Apparently, nothing was too interesting about this list. Yeah. Heads up.
Also, we're on the second entry of this list.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And they're like, this isn't even a fan theory.
They say it themselves.
There are many fan theories that speak to the origins of the infamous Dark Link. This shadowy entity has been seen throughout the numerous Legend of Zelda titles, sometimes appearing as a boss or sub-boss. The inner struggle and need to conquer oneself in a cliche as old as time. But Dark Link isn't viewed as a simple life lessons. Some theories speculate that the villainous shadow is the essence of Link's evil nature, brought out when the hero pulled forth the Master Sword. Others believe that Ganondorf is directly responsible for summoning Dark Link in an attempt to create a minion capable of striking down the hero of time.
That's not... Wait. That's actually a thing that happens. Like, that just happens in Ocarina of Time.
One of the most interesting theories states that Dark Link is actually Demise, one of the main antagonists from Skyward Sword. Upon defeat, Demise was sealed directly into the Master Sword, where his remaining form would be completely purged from existence. This theory states that perhaps Demise wasn't completely gone, and Link's evil essence mixed with the impure soul when the Master Sword was touched in Ocarina of Time.
I think Axel's eyes are going to bulge right out of his head.
Yeah, so... Really quickly on this, they're trying to make, like, most theories, when they talk about Dark Link, they try encompassing all of the different Dark Links as if they are their own person, like their own single entity. But sometimes it's literally the shadow of Link, or something similar to the shadow of Link. And A Link Between Worlds, you can fight different versions of Shadow Link. Until
they're not even like necessarily part of the story at all. They're just like a mini game.
Yeah, but in that case, they're like, I think they're part of the mini game, but I think lore wise, they have something to do with the old man, because after you beat all of the Dark Links, then you fight the old man,
who is the Link from A Link to the Past, or it's strongly implied that he is.
Yeah,
and then Spirit Tracks is at the end. He's like the final boss of the Take 'Em All On challenge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of like a mini game in the Castletown Market.
Yeah. And then
where you just fight enemies. So
yeah, there's Dark Link from Ocarina of Time. There is, I think, Dark Link is the title from Zelda 2 as well.
Yeah. In Zelda 2, he's just Link's shadow.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have a name. He's just what he is. He's not Shadow. He's Link Shadow, if I recall right.
Yeah, and he's like you said earlier, more of a trial brought from the old guy who's guarding the Triforce than
Shadow Link, who isn't like the one that they call Shadow Link in the English versions are from Four Swords Adventures, A Link Between Worlds, and Triforce Heroes. They just really quick, going from like a Zelda wiki page, says that they are like, they belong to like a race of demons, so they are evil. Like Shadow Link from the Four Swords Link Between Worlds Triforce Heroes is more of like a demon-esque.
It's probably just like
thing.
a doppelganger.
Yeah, and then Dark Link would be Zelda 2 and Ocarina of Time, two completely different versions. Mm-hmm. So the point is they're trying to make it seem like every Dark Link is the same Dark Link, but every single one is different. So if you have a theory like, oh, Ganondorf created Dark Link to do this, or Dark Link is really Link's internal soul, like that might be what Nintendo was going for in one of the games, but every single version is a different version. It's not like it's the same one showing up each time being like, I'm going to get you this time.
What's ironic about it is, as bad as it is, the demise theory is the only part of that actually kind of works, because it could theoretically explain like a resurgence because it comes from the Master Sword or whatever. The only issue is, in plenty of those games, you don't get the Master Sword, and it's a different Link, so it can't be the same. It can't be a curse tied to Link. It's a different Link, and there's no Master Sword. The Spirit Tracks being an excellent example.
Like
the demise thing was supposed to explain Ganon's resurgence throughout the timeline. It's kind of it's a huge reach to think, okay, so this thing happened and it explains one thing. It already has an explanation. Maybe there's no. It's the thing that they stated it's for is what it's for, not anything else.
So it's not one encompassing origin story. It's a different version every time, just as Link is a different version every time. Daniel, take us to number 15, which would be our 14.
All right, this one I just love that it's on here because
another non-theory.
It's not actually a theory. It's Wind Waker. The Zora became the Rideau. The article says, you'll meet many familiar faces in Wind Waker, but may notice a strange absence of fish people, except for the manfish. That helps you fill out your chart. Although
don't mention the actual Zora we see in the game.
Although the overworld is a massive sea and sailing is the main form of transportation, the Zora are nowhere to be found. One would assume that the humanoid-like water dwellers would thrive during such an event. Sadly, this is not the case, but it doesn't mean the Zora are gone and forgotten in the realm of Wind Waker. A popular fan theory that is actually just part of the game suggests that the Zora are not missing, but rather evolved into the new bird-like race known as the Rideau. This theory makes a lot of sense considering what we know about the Zora from Ocarina of Time. That particular was fond of fresh water, as found in rivers and lakes. The harsh salt water of the new Great Sea might have proved too much for the Zora to handle. It's also important to note that the Great Sea is teeming with dangerous disasters and malicious monsters. This list is dedicated to theories that showcase... Okay, no, that's a bit... Anyways, point is, like, literally, Medley, who is the sage of Earth in the Wind Waker, it is stated, her blood descendant is a Zora, who we meet in the game as a ghost. And they state outright, she says, find my blood descendant who has the same instrument as me.
Oh, yeah,
and she's got the Zora crest. Medley has the Zora crest on her apron, and it's just it's you read Hyrule Historia, and it's just a part of the game. It's not a fan theory at all. It's now Breath of the Wild does kind of throw a wrench in that, but as far as Wind Waker is concerned, that's canon.
Well, Breath of the Wild,
Divergent evolution.
The way that I view Breath of the Wild is that. The Zora's in it. There's always been different versions of the Zora. Like, there are the River Zora, which are typically the evil Zora that you fight in, the more monster-y looking ones.
Right, yeah.
And then there are the friendly Zora. So, in the way that at some point they split off and became different races, within the 10,000 years between Breath of the Wild and another Zelda, whatever Zelda was before it, my assumption is that just with the normal Zora and then the River Zora, like the good and the evil Zora, there were another split between the normal Zora, and then some of them were like, hey, let's go over here and evolve, while the other Zora were just like, hey, let's stay Zora, and then that's how you get it. But then, like, some people think that the Zora are from a different land, so, like, the Zora did end up turning into the Rideau, all of them, as they did in Wind Waker, but then you have Zora from, like, a neighboring village or whatever, because I think they're... I don't mean to cut you off, but really quick, Andy, or Andrew from... previously of McIntyre Productions, before he gave the YouTube channel to Jack. In one of the videos that I was working on with him, he had text from in the game, like the statues that you read on the wall or whatever, that gives you like the history or the origins of the Zora.
Right.
I think something mentions that the Zora did come from a different area, like they're not the Zora
to build that Zora's domain.
Yeah.
So they also talk about Princess Rideau in those stone monuments. So,
but that's a bonus theory.
That's
the main
true.
thing about that, though, is that even in like real world evolution arguments and whatnot, the argument isn't that mankind evolved from monkeys. The argument is that mankind and monkeys share an ancestor. In other words, it's a thing that evolutions can split off from the same point. There can be Zora who didn't evolve because they stayed in the same...
Saiyans are monkeys.
Jesse, get the hell out.
But also, like, you see this happening with birds. I can't remember what type of bird it was, but this is a real-life example where two of the same birds, they had the same ancestry. One lived on, like, this island where they had to, basically, like, worms and stuff, and their beaks evolved to have a different shape than the same bird that lived on a different island and was, like, eating nuts and had their beaks evolved to a different shape to crack nuts.
Yeah, and the thing is, the opposite is just as possible. It's convergent evolution, where two unrelated ancestries evolve almost the same features. So old world vultures and new world vultures don't come from the same line at all, but they're very similar creatures. So you could even have different Zora in the same game that have no relation or different. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can go with that.
But this is all a theory for another time, because that's Breath of the Wild speculation, theorizing.
True.
We're talking about
this list.
This is the dumbest thing. Like this is what I call it, a non-theory, because it's like they were grasping for straws.
And it's the first entry that they put in there. So just imagine
that's why I
a
skipped
hardcore
it.
Zelda fan opening this up and being like, "Oh, some crazy fan theories," and then they see this, like, "Okay, I'm done."
I skipped this one because it started with something that wasn't even a theory. That's why I started with 14, because my thought, someone's gonna watch this and like the first thing on the list, they're gonna be like, "That's not even a theory. Unsubscribe."
That's our point. That's our point, guys, watching this.
Yeah, they suck.
All right.
That's the point. These are stupid.
Axel, take us to our number 13.
Do we really have to talk about it? It's all just...
Do it, Axel.
No, it's not all just a dream. Stop. It's like the thing that everyone gives in every... Oh, my theory is everyone hates it when you have the "it was all just a dream" ending.
It's actually... This website is quoting... Like, if you look in the images, it's always via Zelda Dungeon.
No!
Via YouTube. Via Zelda Dungeon.
I thought that's just where they found the images.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I'm pretty sure. That's just where they...
God. Zelda Dungeons reference
so
a lot of these.
What does this say, Axel? What does number 13 say?
Okay. This is a popular
I'm interested.
in general across many games and franchises. But it actually holds a decent amount of worth in The Legend of Zelda. No, it doesn't. This idea revolves around the dreamscape, stating that Link is simply fabricating all of these grandiose adventures within his mind. This seems highly unlikely, but there are a few things that support the theory. Many Legend of Zelda games feature an opening sequence in which Link is waking up in bed, which usually means you're awake. Is this a direct...
None of my dreams start with me waking up. That's how just life starts.
It's like that's called breakfast.
Is this a direct hint that our hero is simply imagining all of his heroic deeds? It's also important to note that most games feature Link as a childlike protagonist, giving us more merit to the idea that Link is simply suffering from an overactive imagination. or is he benefiting? This wouldn't be the first time that Nintendo infused a dream sequence into a franchise. A certain red-hatted plumber was guilty of this in Super Mario 2. And you know what the problem is?
That wasn't originally Mario. That was
Yeah,
Doki
there's
Doki
that.
Panic.
Yeah, but also, there are 2 Zelda games. Well, 1, technically, which takes place in a dream. And that's part of the story. Do you ever have a dream that you're in 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 a dream?
So we were talking
That
about...
only happened in Inception.
we were talking about ideas and concepts that we could debate. One that I could is that the dream games, like Link's Awakening and Phantom Hourglass, aren't really dreams. Because, what's his name? Who's the guy?
Lineback.
Yeah, Lineback. It's either his grandson or like his self is like an old man is in Spirit Tracks.
Yeah.
Grandson,
and then,
yeah.
Well, no, I can explain that if you want.
It fits because we're talking about dreams. So
Jesse.
I'll make an executive decision.
Jesse, the chat says that your microphone is too loud. I'm just going with I'm just delivering the message.
My microphone?
2 people. That's what 2 people in the chat said. 2 people. So it must be true.
I can see my mic.
2 of them, Jesse.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. You sound normal to me. So it must be chat doesn't agree.
I hear myself in the YouTube video as well, so whatever.
I have no idea. I don't know. Forget them. We don't need these viewers.
Refresh the page.
We have each other.
Alright. Axel. The dream.
Yeah. Oh, I read the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
No, you were going to say
So
something.
you were going to explain something.
In Phantom Hourglass, it's not actually supposed to be a dream. Oh my god, I accidentally refreshed the stream and it was really loud. Anyway, it's not. It's called the World of the Ocean King. It's like an alternate dimension that is related to the Ocean King. It's like the sea he rules over. And Lineback actually comes through with Link. Presumably, that's what his wish was.
See, I love
That's
you,
why.
Axel.
What?
I love you.
Aww.
No, I was on. It was either Zelda Universe or Zelda. Okay, it was either Zelda Universe or Zelda Dungeons Discord, and someone was talking about, like, it's all a dream, talking about Phantom Hourglass or Link's Awakening, and I was like, well, no, and I was trying to explain it, and then they were like, oh, that makes sense, because they said something about, like, a game being, like, they said something that was incorrect. I forgot what it was. I corrected them, and they were like, I didn't know that. And then I did, like, they said something else, and I was like, well, that's not necessarily true either. And then that time they were talking about the thing being a dream, and I was like, but Linebeck's, like, he's in this place, and then in Link's Awakening, if you get the real ending, you see the girl, like, fly away or whatever. And I always... What?
It was clearly a reference to a Link's Awakening. But the thing is, in Link's Awakening, yes, it is a dream, but it's like magic rules where, like, it still happened. That character did kind of, like, have weight, and the nightmares and Link got inside.
I always look at it as, like, the Windfish, the Ocean King,
Axel.
Hylia.
Where's Axel?
Yeah. So
there we go.
There we go.
The Windfish, the Ocean King, Hylia, the 3 goddesses, all of these different deities and gods. Like, the 3 goddesses created Hyrule. Mm-hmm. Daniel's heard this 1,000 times, so I apologize.
Many.
So
no, it's okay. I'll just wink at people in the chat.
The 3 goddesses, like, Hyrule never existed. The 3 goddesses created it, now it exists. So if these gods and deities, the 3 goddesses, can create their own world, and it's real, why can't these other gods and deities create their world?
Yeah.
So it's like, they might exist in different realms or different areas, but they all still exist. And it's like when the Ocean King in, like, Link's Awakening, whatever, when he sleeps and Link is able to go there and then he wakes up and Link gets taken out of it. My idea is that the dream world, whenever he's sleeping, that's what makes the 2 realms or the 2 dimensions kind of, like, merge so they can connect with each other. And then when he wakes up, they kind of, like, disappear from each other. Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy X, if anyone's played it. Whenever, I forgot what they're called, but while they're sleeping, Tidus is taken to the future or whatever, and then when they wake up, he just disappears.
Yeah.
So similar to that, like his magic is activated while he's sleeping. But anyways, let's go to our next one, because so far we have not had a good theory. It was all just a dream. No, it wasn't. So
No.
0 for 3 so far, the gamer. Number 12, Ocarina of Time, the sages are deceased. This may be the one that's closest to holding some truth, because some of them definitely are dead. Or
This is the closest one.
yeah. If you haven't played Ocarina of Time, spoilers, there's really no excuse for this. Link meets with the 7 sages who aid him in his quest to stop Ganondorf. Certain sages are tasked with overseeing temples, and all of the sages are tasked with overseeing temples. So, not some of them, even... Yeah.
Well, no, neither is true. They don't necessarily oversee it. A lot of them just go there.
Well, they're tied to them. Like, each one is linked to...
Yeah.
Yes.
And in Raru's case, he's just kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Like, unless he's an owl.
Yeah,
He is the
that's
owl.
how
So-
he gets out.
Tasked with overseeing temples, and Link comes in contact with these individuals during his adventures. Once a specific temple is conquered and the ally takes their place in the Chamber of Sages, there is a running theory that each of these sages meets a bitter end in their respective temple. Darunia may have fallen to the fire beast Volvagia. How do you guys pronounce that?
Volvagia.
I always said Volvagia, like a
Volvagia.
just sound for the G. But you know what? That was me as a kid
So-
when I read it. So that's always.
If you
I could be wrong.
If you take the two words separate, Volva, which is like lava, and then Gaia, which means earth, so it means like lava, earth. But if you put them together, do the pronunciations change?
Yeah.
Volvagia. I kind of like that.
So instead of
Volva-
Volva Gaia, it's Volvagia, or
I think Volvagia is most likely the right way to pronounce it.
because like looking at it in a literal sense, I read it as Volva Gaia because it's lava and then Gaia earth. So I don't know. Anyways. And we saw Nabooru as she was captured by Twinrova. There are other instances in which characters simply go missing. Rideau accompanies Link through the water temple, but mysteriously vanishes when she takes off to free her people. Saria and Impa are not even seen within their respective locations, but you meet them within the Chamber of Sages afterwards. It is more likely that these individuals are simply off doing other things, but it definitely creates an interesting and rather dark fan theory. Now, I have a huge, almost 20-minute long Zelda theory video on my channel that actually breaks down all of this. It has, like, HMK, Vortexy Gaming, CC, McIntyre, Commonwealth Realm, like, tons and tons of people. I basically had each Zelda YouTube person I know read the lines for a different sage.
Right.
So, like, each person would be explaining how their own sage, like, may have died or didn't die.
Right.
But yeah, I think maybe some of them died, but not all of them. Some of them it's left vague. So, yeah, like, I think the closest would have been, like, maybe Nabooru or Darunia, because Darunia, he just goes in there with the dragon. He doesn't have the hammer. Like,
Yeah.
Volvagia died by being hit on the hammer, or hit on the head with the hammer by a Goron, which would kill anyone. So,
And not from an egg
yeah.
in the marketplace.
So,
But maybe he just punches like a boss.
yeah, he just goes in there and like,
He's a Goron,
grabs
so.
it with... No, so this is the thing that I
Probably.
never understood. Like, I actually, one of the scripts that I wrote, it was like 5 easy ways to, like, 5 huge problems that could have been simply solved or something like that. I don't exactly know what the title's going to be, but one of them is, why didn't they, like, when Ganondorf was taking over, why didn't they just go to Big Goron that's literally the size of a mountain and be like, hey, can you squash Ganondorf? Just, like, pick him up and squeeze him? Like...
He needs those eye drops.
Yeah, he can literally take, like, 3 steps. You're froze, Daniel. You're muted.
Daniel, your audio.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So like,
What? I was saying, what if they went to it, Ganondorf just put magic powder in his eye, just threw it, just poof, and he's like, ah!
no, like
That's why
his-
he's eye
his-
dropped.
his
Maybe they
eyes-
did try.
because- No, like Death Mountain, like all the smoke comes. That's why his
All
eyes
right.
are like that.
Oh, okay.
Because like
Alright.
the-
I was just thinking, he has a Triforce, the power, so...
yeah, like I think it's when you first go to Kakariko Village as an adult. Like, isn't it like it shows the fire or something first coming off the mountain? Am I
Can't
imagining
remember.
things? Like you see the guy on the roof in Kakariko Village.
Oh, yeah.
Like you see him like fall back or something because the mountain erupts or something happens, or is that after
I
you
think,
beat it?
I think it's after you beat it.
and
Okay.
it goes back to normal.
Oh, don't listen to me, guys. But yeah,
I'm
what do you
not-
guys
I'm
think
not
about this?
sure.
I never do listen to you, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's actually probably the best theory so far by a lot.
On
I
this
like a
list,
lot.
oh yeah, it's a
So-
low bar. For
So
sure.
far, yes, it is. It is the best so far.
For me, like it makes sense thematically because they have those like sad sequences where it seems like they're going to live forever in the Chamber of Sages. But my first interpretation when I played the game wasn't necessarily that they had died, just that they had taken on a literally spiritual form because that's their duty. I got the "this is my duty now" kind of vibe from it, not "we died." And I feel like I feel like what kind of damages the theory is actually how the sages were portrayed in Twilight Princess. Because we see them doing the same thing. They're like ghosts. They don't
Yeah.
even seem to have bodies. And they just hang out at Arbiter's grounds. That's all they do. And they
My-
just show up. And Ganon actually kills one of them
The water
in
elf.
that form. And he's gone.
He kills Rideau, the water sage.
Yeah. Well,
Or-
no, this is the
These aren't the same sages
Yeah,
that
they're
are
not
in the
the-
adult timeline of Ocarina of Time because
Oh.
those sages haven't awoken, right?
Yeah, so my
it would be-
thought-
I assume that sage, the light sage in the Twilight Princess, is Roru.
Yeah.
And these are the original other
yeah,
sages.
before yeah. That's
so
what I get.
My
you know?
thought
Yeah.
was like the reason they look spiritual in
Yeah.
Twilight Princess is that over time they lose their physical body.
Right.
Right.
Or it could be we only see them in the sacred realm. So
Yeah.
maybe in the sacred realm they can keep their bodies, but then as we see Rauru take the form of the owl
Yeah.
and Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time, maybe whenever they leave the sacred realm, they are no longer like in their
Yeah.
physical form. You can only see
Yes.
them like in this like angel-like demon
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
form ghost thing.
Well, even at
Also-
the end of Ocarina of Time, we see them kind of ghost their way up to Death Mountain to watch
Yeah.
Hyrule. But it's like that.
Light, sort of.
It's like that from a distance thing. They're not going back to Hyrule. They're just looking over it and like, we did a good job.
Yeah, done. GG. Also, Ashley
Oh.
donated $4 to the stream.
What? Which Ashley? Oh, cool
Ashley
Ashley.
Phelps, and she
Buy yourself
says,
a milkshake
"Buy yourself a
for your-
milkshake for your birthday, Jesse."
No way. Thank you, Ashley.
Rock and roll.
That will be definitely used for something. Yeah, Daniel, take us to our next.
Okay,
We can probably try to get through these faster
This
because
Yeah.
yeah, this one's a funny one. Zelda, the princess,